UFC 299 is upon us, guys, and it's stacked from top to bottom. And wasting no time, we're gonna jump straight into Rebeles de España. Hopefully that's how you pronounce his name. Otherwise known as the Big Boy, and he's called that for a reason. He has the biggest reach in UFC history. He's 6'8" as well, a Taekwondo Olympian. Good grief, does this guy have power? He's knocked out his last opponent in 4 seconds. Before that, he knocked him out in 3 seconds. And then 12. Collectively adding up 10, 19 seconds. Every single one of his fights finished in the first round, and I'm taking that. He's an Olympian, Taekwondo bronze medalist, and he's facing off a guy that's not that impressive. He's UFC fodder, and UFC is basically teeing up Rebeles to get a spectacular finish and welcome himself into the heavyweight division. Give me Rebeles by knockout, and I think he's going to do it in the first round. But if the value is there, take the first round. If not, just take the knockout. And next up, pee break. Are you done peeing? Great, because now we have a Michel Pereira fight. And I think he gets this one done inside the distance against Michael, Polish dude last name. His last performance against Armen Petrovsky was crazy good. He didn't take much punches to get that one done. I believe it was like 6 or something. Crazy. He's a better fighter as well. Since he stopped doing that Circus Olay spinning crap that he used to do back in his UFC debut onward, he's looked like a totally different and better fighter. And he's not going to be draining himself down to 170. I think the cardio holds up pretty well if needed. But getting it done inside the distance, early finish, that's also plausible. There's not much places I see him losing this fight. So yeah, give me Michel Pereira. Okay, and this one, y'all may disagree with me on this one, but I'm back in the underdog on this one with Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips, he's impressive, yes. But Pedro Munoz is battle tested. Pedro Munoz can knock you out. Pedro Munoz can get you in a guillotine. Pedro Munoz can go the distance, and he's never going to quit on himself. I think the dog in Pedro Munoz is going to be enough to get this one done. Next up is Mateus Gamrot versus Rafael Dos Anjos. And this one is going to be a bit of a slow fight. But I see Mateus Gamrot getting it done. I don't see him being able to stop RDA. But at the same time, RDA is not going to have enough power to stop Mateus Gamrot from doing whatever he wants to do. This fight's going to go to the ground. This fight's going to be more or less domination by Gamrot. Yeah, give me Mateus Gamrot by decision. Next fight I want to talk about is a 50-50 fight. We have Jailton Almeida versus Curtis Blaydes. And let's be honest, a lot of people jumped off the Jailton Almeida hype train after his victory against Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is a tough guy to submit, and Jailton Almeida learned that firsthand. The people who were able to submit Derek Lewis were Sergey Spivak, who's crazy on the ground, and Daniel Cormier, who can impose his will on just about anybody once he gets him down there. Curtis Blaydes is a hard guy to take down, and Curtis Blaydes, if he executes his game plan effectively, he's going to be going for takedowns, securing them. And Jailton Almeida, we're going to have to see how good his jiu-jitsu is off his back. I think Jailton Almeida may be able to get a sweep on him. If he was to get to the ground, the question is if he's going to be able to hold him there. I don't know. I'm not liking this fight for betting purposes. But I'm leaning more towards Curtis Blaydes. Mainly because of his wrestling and his fight IQ being higher than Jailton Almeida at times. So yeah, I'm leaning towards Curtis Blaydes, but I'm not going to be betting this fight. Next fight is a Petr Yan versus a Song Yadong, or Yadong Song, however you pronounce it. I got Song Yadong on this one. Petr Yan is such a slow starter, and I think that's going to be to his detriment in this fight. Song Yadong is durable as hell and got power for days. Petr Yan might be able to figure him out later in the fight, but this is not a 5-round fight. This is a 3-round fight. And that's why this benefits Song Yadong a lot more, in my opinion. Moving on to Jack Della Maddalena versus Gilbert Torino Burns. And this one is a tough one for me. Jack Della Maddalena in his last two performances were not very impressive. However, he did manage to get the win by decision in both of them, making a step up from Kevin Holland to Gilbert Torino Burns. And Gilbert, in the 170-pound division, he's not been very chinny. Like people would say, oh my god, he got knocked out by Kamaru Usman. That was after he knocked down Kamaru Usman and got a little bit too frisky with him and got clipped. Jack Della, unless he manages to catch Gilbert, I see Gilbert managing to get this one done. I think the step up is way too much, too soon for Jack Della. If he gets it done, he will be considered a serious contender in this division. But the pick, Gilbert Torino Burns. Moving on to Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page, MVP. The guy is making his UFC debut at the age of 36. And Kevin Holland, 31. Kevin Holland, in my opinion, is better well-rounded. He holds a lot of power. I mean, he's coming down from the 185-pound division. Holds a lot of power. Phenomenal fighter. Has great dodge strokes. I see him getting it done against Michael Venom Page. I don't know why the UFC decided to match up Kevin Holland. I guess it's because it's a great matchup. Like, you can expect a lot of striking to be done in this one. But I haven't seen Michael Page knock out guys at Kevin Holland's level. And I don't see him being able to do this at UFC 299. So give me Kevin Holland to get the dub. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening. We have Dustin the Diamond Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis. And I'm on the hype train, guys. I got Benoit Saint-Denis getting this one done. The dude is durable as hell. In his debut fight in the UFC, where he moved up to the welterweight division to fight Elizeu Zaleski, he showed just how tough he is. He definitely had a power mismatch, and he stuck around for the entirety of the fight. The commentators were begging the fight to be stopped, but one guy did not want it to be stopped, and that was Benoit Saint-Denis. Dustin Poirier is going to have to hit him with a truck to put him out. And I don't think Dustin Poirier is going to be able to bring a truck to the octagon. If Dustin Poirier was to win, it will be by decision, a very razor-close decision. But I see Saint-Denis getting this one done. I believe it's 5 rounds, and that might be the main factor that makes people lean towards Dustin Poirier, but I don't see it even reaching that far. Give me Benoit Saint-Denis. On to the main event of the evening. And could you guys explain to me why Marlon Vera is such a huge underdog? He's facing Sean O'Malley, and he won the first fight, even though people would say it's because Sean O'Malley had nerve damage in his foot or whatever the case may be. Marlon Vera won the fight, and he was looking like the better fighter. Sean O'Malley, yes, he has grown, but he doesn't have the power to knock out a guy like Chito. He's going to be in your face for the entirety of the fight. The value is on Chito. The durability goes Chito's way as well. And the dude's got so much power and great finishing ability that I see him able to put away Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley, yes, his movement is good. Yes, he's going to look good in the early rounds. But as the fight goes into deeper and deeper rounds, and he starts getting hit by Marlon Chito Vera, who, by the way, turns up later in fights rather than early, I don't see him being able to hang in there. And I see Chito being another underdog to get it done. And that has been my picks and analysis for UFC 299. Be sure to leave a like. Comment what you think about each one of these down below. Subscribe. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Twitter. Support the channel on our Patreon. And I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, game time.